Great tidings, Natty Jade bring you. Great tidings, Natty Jade bring you. Panabrook Pocket dear. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, happy, happy Brook Pocket Day. Sounds got Brook Pocket Day. I never tell you about the day, 'cause I know about the Christmas. I wanna tell you, said I know about the Christmas. Yeah. Imagine Christmas come and I don't even have 1 cent to buy it all.
Wadada means love. Loving Africa, loving Jamaica. But I need to really tell you when your name is Baker or Fonseca. I say Jamaica. I wanna see
Day. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a dance all New Year. Great tidings, Natty Jane bring you. Great tidings, Natty Jane bring you. Great tidings, Natty Jane bring you and a dance all New Year. We skank and rock it to the rhythm. We rock and we rock at the rhythm. We scrub and we rub and we the wise.
Give love on Christmas Day. Give love on Christmas Day. Give love on Christmas Day. Give love on Christmas Day.
Yes, indeed, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web. Pleasant good day to you. Yes, so this is the corridor transformation, and you know, it's like a perpetual pendulum swinging one way and the other, something like a clock. However, it is, of course, the marking and marching of time in a real human scenario or situation. Yes, indeed. So that this morning, ground report, tonight, corridor, you will forgive me, of course, for the tardiness, but I intend to end at 9:30 nonetheless, because I don't know what tomorrow will bring as far as the ground report is concerned, and whether I will be called to service impromptuly, unexpectedly, but very prepared. So tonight, of course, as many other nights, so we will be looking at critical issues. I'll open the line early or immediately. Joshua will not be here. He's a bit under the weather. There are some signs that made us as parents very concerned, both his mother and myself. And so we thought we should make some observations tonight. And then tomorrow, of course, take action by way of medical attention and visit. All right? But that being as it may, of course, the line is open, 337-6940. And let me make sure that the phone is activated. I'm talking about WhatsApp only. I want to thank, of course, Mr. Faizabad for, of course, his consideration. He's truly a man who go beyond talk, so he puts something where his mouth is, as people would say. I'm not going to go any further. I want to thank, of course, those persons who have already contributed, have pledged, and will want, of course, to continue to assist in this humanitarian, this altruistic drive around Christmas time to serve our children, our young folks in particular, but whole families who may, for one reason or another, not have the pleasantries that is associated universally with Christmas. We owe it to those who are less fortunate and downtrodden, to at least those of us who would have had not necessarily excess, but certainly the will to accept less and give a little. We want to thank you for that consideration. That is truly what Christmas would mean and should mean and does mean to humankind. The baby in a manger born with very humble beginnings, incense, pearl, and myrrh. And the wise men, of course, seeking out wisdom. And of course, there was a baby Jesus in the manger. Looking over him would have been, of course, the animals, suggesting clearly not just humble beginning, but at the same time appreciating all of creation in that one microcosm called the manger. Enough of that, of course, as we move forward to issues of the day. I learned that the Prime Minister did in fact comment on the situation as far as that kidnapping is concerned. Try to bring a copy of the map tonight to see if we can replicate what we did on the ground report so people get an appreciation, those who might have missed it, the geographic positioning, the geographic space, land, sea, and air. And to give a critical analysis as to what might have transpired with respect to the kidnapping of that husband and wife on Monas Island. Island that is closer to the peninsula, the Trinidad and Tobago northeastern peninsula, than, let's say, the other major island, which is, of course, Shakari, and of course any other that may be in the vicinity. But that being as it may, the fact is that the Prime Minister said that it is fishy. We too had our concerns. Among them, of course, would have been the daring nature of the exercise in Trinidad and Tobago's waters, clearly, breaching our sovereignty, and then getting a telephone call as far as Colombia. That's what the destination, or should I say the origination of the call would have been, to indicate that they have their man and woman, and that, of course, 2.5 million US must be paid for the return. Whether safe or not is another story. That is the reality. And of course, Mr. Diego Martin did highlight some of the scenarios, some of the situations that may have caused or would have contributed to that situation that has plunged, of course, obviously the family of this couple into a trauma. Unexpected, I suppose, on the one hand, but the ballad Robert, as I told somebody today, and I make no apology. Robert may well also mean, Robert, look where you put me in, look what you get me in, get me out now. Robert, and of course we have not been able to associate or identify Robert as yet. Well, except that it's his brother, the kidnapped I'm talking about. Person who has been kidnapped. So let's see how that transpires. Let's see what comes out of it. So the line is open, 337-6940, and of course the forum or the medium that we'll use is WhatsApp only, as we continue, of course, to deal with these and other issues. Let me just, yes. All right. So, yeah. So, that is the situation today. Last night, of course, I was very pointed and very assertive as to the future of Trinidad and Tobago and politics in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's go to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Let me just make sure, just hold on.
A pleasant good night to you, Uncle Lennox, and to all your listeners on the World Wide Web. Share the life, and let us get this thing going. Uncle Lennox needs a little kakada.
Are you hearing me better now? Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing now?
Yeah.
Okay,
I hear you on the phone, and I hear you on the telly.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, go ahead now. Yes.
Right. So, Uncle Lennox,
go ahead.
That had to be kingfish, mahi-mahi, and yellowfin tuna.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you know why? It's fishy. You tell me, right?
Yeah.
In Diego Martin, under the PNM, it had a house paint blue. And it had police officers in uniform walking out of that building. And when they check it, it was not a police station. Regular. Tell me what is the answer.
That was amazing. That was an enigma of exceptional proportion and could only happen in Trinidad right under the noses of the police for some time at least. But go ahead.
Right. So, if that could have happened, right?
Yes.
We have 12 Damien vessels. Them vessels, when you see the introduction from the owners who supply them, a pirogue, right, being pursued by them, any one of the Damien out of the 12. Anywhere that pirogue land, them Damien vessel going behind them. If they go in the lagoon, in the Caroni swamp, the pirogue could go, he going. Because the draft was at least 3 feet of water, right? For him to move and to float. So he could have run up on the shore line where the occupants of them Damien vessel could jump out, right? And give chase on foot. You telling me we have Alpha and Omega, Camden, and all our armory and bunkers right on that coast there, right? We have all them Coast Guard vessels, right? And you telling me that is the 24 hours patrol we have on the sea? So I want to ask Penelope Beckers, right? And now he calling himself the ex-National Security Minister, right? What you do since you're the ex-minister? Amaba, tell me now, why them vessels and them was up and running and have proper patrol around them islands and them? Because it have some, when they go to fishing and they go too close and you see the stone, people coming out and tell you, don't stay there, move. So, I asked you that question, Marvin and Penny. You want to know if who's selling fish or what's selling fish. The only thing fishy about it is why the Coast Guard was on patrol when that happened. Eh? And when the vessel. Because them fellas and them can walk and go down the islands and walk around them islands because they're not Jesus. Right? So Marvin, tell me now, you as National Security Minister don't ask a question. I ask a question as a citizen. Where all the cutlass ordered by with Rowley and shot your dog in Australia. Wait. So, Uncle Lennox, I will say that look like it's a hardback sardine. It's really fishy. So you see where the complacency come from? If Penny and Marvin Gonzalez want political mileage, tell them the price of super gas drop, pull up the tank and see how far they can reach. Because the people in Tobago run them, scorn them, and they reject them. Have a nice night.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Very comprehensive indeed. And of course, it is a platform for a number of issues, of course, that would have been raised, inclusive of the elections campaign that is taking place in Tobago. We will, of course, bring some excerpts and some insights as well as some analyses as to what the outcome will be. Of course, we already know that Fali and, of course, what is it called? The Tobago People's Party, TPP, having regard to, of course, the overture made by Watson Duke to not have the PDP involved in that election, so tells me that, of course, it's a fait accompli. It is, of course, almost automatic. It is, of course, by default that the incumbent will, of course, dominate, as they have dominated, of course, in the national elections held on the 28th of April of this year. All 2 seats. So they will complete, of course, that what I consider the cycle of political dominance and transformation. Let's go to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Right, opening the button tonight, Lennox.
Yes, of course, but Mr. Faizabad was before you, so you could say.
Right,
but
okay.
you,
Okay.
in cricket, you need 2 openers anyway. But go ahead.
Right. Well, he faced the first ball.
He faced the first ball. Yes, that's right. You're coming up with the rare. Go ahead.
Right. Listen to this.
Yes.
The KPB says something is fishy,
Uh-huh.
and I saw the family of the kidnapped victims chastise the newspaper for basically putting a particular slant.
Yes.
So, because what they said, you all don't know what is a pun, and that is what the lady was basically doing. So I want to come back to that issue. Is it friends of the fisherman, or it is the fisherman and friends? No. Look at the ownership of that island and who has been part of it. A lot of people that has been linked to a certain political party. For example, the KFC man, he has property down there. They say Dwayne might have had property down there.
I see.
So we have to go back from the Mona's Island, 2005. It was 1,732 kilos, 1,732 kilos of cocaine. And the fact is, certain policemen was chastised for not doing proper investigation, not even questioning the owners of the house. I believe one of the policemen who was basically the lead investigator eventually became a commissioner of police. So the fact that we didn't do the groundwork for that tells us they were lying low. Now things get hard because Trump coming, somebody had to pay the price. Because you remember, if you read through all the news thing, it appears that the call is a Colombian. That was said in the news, the article. A
Yes.
Colombian.
Coal, yes, a coal. The other end, the originating of the coal
Right.
was
So,
Colombian, yeah.
right, so that tell you, and you have to remember the head of a nephew, they say it is alleged that they sent his head back to Colombia for evidence to say the people down here, we have delivered what you wanted. So don't be surprised, these underworld characters, because they are basically being um, by the commissioner and police ringed, and they're closing in with the help of the radar. They can't come. You see today what happened with Trump. Trump took a tanker. We allow tankers to come in with transponder off and to do the nefarious activity. You think the Americans don't know that? No. It's our opposition leader, penniless and senseless, asking the Prime Minister all sort of questions. When the Prime Minister alluded to the fact and made an allegation that possibly might be wrong, who was facilitating the nefarious acts, who left the border open. I want people to go back to a newspaper report in 2014, September 2014, when it is alleged $1.6 million in bail for the elder brother and his family, who the police say had AK-14 and all kind of things. Where that case has gone, we have not heard anything about it. I hope there are no missing files, because if that had a similar, or KPB had a similar thing like that, that would have been pasted in the front page of the newspaper already 15 times. You understand what I'm going?
Oh, yes.
Go back and see AKA a lot of things. I just showing you some nexus. No. You remember the people who they caught in Tobago, the two women carrying the cocaine, I think, to Germany. Whose constituency they came from? Is that a nexus? Arima, go and look and see the evidence. Is that a coincidence? Is that a nexus? Are you just saying something, are you denying?
Of course.
You understand? No. As I said yesterday, the day before, I need beyond the tape the owners, because I spoke to the director of policy and planning, and I say I want to know the cost, and I want all you to review that, because I say the police has been making a lot of positive things, and you all basically letting people know on your program. But I say the mouthpiece of the former government, the Three Daily, printed on all the newspaper things that are at variance to what you all are trying to do on Beyond the Tape. So I say, talk to the Minister of Defense and tell him to review that. Because if they're doing it free, there's nothing free in life. That TV station is benefiting from it. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
And the third thing I want to say, SRP must not just be transitioning to the TTPS. They must be vetted. I've seen some of them horsing up thinking that they get the door opening and the thing. We want intelligent policing. We have to sustain the gains made by the current Commissioner of Police and some of the functioning officers. We have to basically sustain that, and that required competent and efficient, intelligent police officers who could do policing. And I want to go back to history, and people will not remember this. I want them to take it and understand. Patrick Solomon was the person who dismantled the police service when he took out his stepson from the prison, and no police officer did anything at that point in time. That long time ago, eh?
Yes,
That is
yeah,
recent.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe in the era of Gene Miles and others. But go ahead. Yes.
Right. But I want to tell people that stigma, that behavior has continued, you know. You know, this fella, Limo, is the great grandson, you know, of Patrick Sullivan. Think about that.
I wasn't aware. Thank you for that that family tree. That family tree
That got them,
nexus connection. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because
So-
even the current crop of PNMs mites could hark back to a lot of what I consider to be persons that were as predecessors connected to that party, and thus, of course, at the level of what I consider to be corruption, nepotism, as well as incompetence, impotence, and the inability, of course, to manage the affairs of the country because there was too much what I consider to be friend, family, and
Right, and that's the culture.
yeah.
It's the
And
same
so
logic.
what you promoted was mediocrity that emerged from that, as we saw in the
Apartheid
incompetence
and-
of management. Go ahead. Yeah.
A party card and you got big go.
Yeah.
And people, you have to tell
Madness.
people that we
Yeah.
have to crush them and we have to show the linkages since thy kingdom come, since
Yeah.
the 10% culture, mashing up all state institutions, and it still happened. That was the mantra.
Yeah.
Take control of the state institution and do it. And that is what I do. Why you think you run from Trinidad? He's afraid. This fella, the attorney general, say, I come in for you, you and you.
Yes.
You run to OESS. Where
But not he alone. Not he alone. Noel Garcia, all of them. What they do? They go to some African country where there is no extradition treaty with Trinidad. Then, of course, they continue their nefarious act, utilizing the resources that they accumulate from the treasury of the country by mismanagement and corruption and nepotism. And whenever the PNM seem to be showing its head to be in front in an election, they then return. And the people must identify them. They are unpatriotic. How the hell? How the hell you will come here, manage, or operate at the helm of HGC, operate at the helm of Heritage, operate at the helm of Paria, and then you leave and go. And then 5 years afterwards, when the present government appeared to be waning and the PNM seemed to be on the ascendancy, they then return. And the population tolerates that.
Yes,
No
yes,
more.
that is
Go ahead, my
exactly,
friend. No more. Yes.
We have, and I want all them parliamentary committee, bring them out and judge them. Why you think that fella run to the cell? The Caribbean Airlines fella, what they call him? The CEO.
Yes.
Why you think he didn't want to be confronted in that?
He didn't want to be subjected to the investigation that would require accounting of past activities.
years.
And I've been kind.
9 years.
Yeah, I've been
no
kind.
financial statement.
Past activities. I don't want to say questionable activities. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that is what we have. We have to use that strategy so the whole population will know how incompetent they are. So when they are fired, there's no uproar. So
That's right.
the next one I'm calling the Police Service Commission and the TGPS to answer questions. So when questions are put to them, we can get rid of them and we can reconstruct the police service. All right, I go on.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much for that update, that splendid update, and of course, a magnificent, what I consider to be presentation, utilizing, of course, a mixture of dialect as well as, of course, the formal English language. Remember, when I was at Trinity College, I prior to that, because you know you go to training college after you'd have had a stint in the system itself. And when I went there, they said, but listen, our first language is dialect. And that English is a foreign language. Yeah, that's what they teach us in training college. English is a foreign language. And I took some time to assimilate and to understand, but I understand it now. Because when, of course, we speak in general terms and with and among each other, yeah, we use the green verbs and so on. What will be considered, I should say, green verbs in English, but certainly for our purposes, it is perfect because language is about the ability to communicate, and once the medium through which that communication takes place, which of course is the articulation of words, then mission accomplished. Yeah, mission accomplished. So don't believe that, of course. That's why I keep saying whether it's green verb, blue verb, yellow verb. In calling, don't feel that we are going to somehow believe that you are not of the standard, or you believe that you are not of the standard to communicate, even though, of course, you may be using, in the context of pure English, standard English. It may be seen as a different in terms of grammar, in terms of construction, but in terms of our dialect, there's no one can speak it as us. So please, Colin, feel free to, of course, express yourself in whatever fashion that you wish. Once, of course, you are not disrespectful and you are not obnoxious. And it is my fervent hope, will, knowledge, and acceptance that you will do justice when you would have made your presentation, whichever form. Of course, there are those who are engaging, of course, in writing, in words, but written words on the chat. And of course, that same observation is applicable to them as well. Because you have these short phrases and you have these make-up thing, like if you're saying you, you'll put, of course, the letter U as opposed to writing, taking too long, Y-O-U, right? So we know all of that. And it has become, of course, standard as well. But for that particular forum, or that format is acceptable there. And people, of course, communicate because it is about communication. That being as it may, I have a map behind me. And I thought it was important, of course, to merely give some fundamentals, because there are some who may not have understood the entire geographic space about which we are concerned and have been analyzing in terms of that kidnapping that would have taken place. And I'm doing it for geographic purposes, not that I want to overemphasize or I have any hidden agenda as far as that particular matter is concerned. It is purely for knowledge. So you would have seen here, just about here, just about this area here. All right. Let me just rub it off. That color is looking too light. So it looking the blue background will, of course, make it difficult to see. So let me put a different color so you will understand. All right, and I too will appreciate. I too will appreciate. Let me put a bigger, right? Okay, good. So here we go. All right, so this, of course, is considered to be the Bocas, right? So this area here considered to be the Bocas, right? Of course, all here is the Gulf of Paria. All here is the Gulf of Paria. Yes, indeed. All right. Of course, Port of Spain is just about here. See Port of Spain here. Yes, indeed. All right. So, what is significant, however, is the almost to stretch your hand from the map perspective. Of course, there's a lot of water in between there, but you could just stretch your hand and, of course, reach Venezuela, or Venezuela reach us. So Venezuela is here. That is the peninsula that juts out. And of course, the Trinidad Peninsula is here. But you have the Monas Island is where we want to go. And let's go there now. Let's go there now on the map of Trinidad and Tobago. But Trinidad is in the spotlight now. So here we have. Let me just move that those markings to make sure that we are not confused in any way. Yes. So we have, of course, you will see there, let me just shift a bit. So here you have, of course, Monas Island. Monas Island, look at here. Monas Island, yes, this is Monas Island here. And of course, there's a body of water in between. And of course, that represents the mainland. The mainland, of course, Trinidad I'm talking about here. Let me make sure. Let me do mark myself. Yes. So here is the Trinidad Peninsula, where, incidentally, the Army base and the Coast Guard is just around that general vicinity on the coast of the northwestern peninsula. Right? And of course, so Monas Island is closest to the mainland. And to me, that makes, of course, the exercise that the kidnappers would have been engaged in even more dangerous and challenging. Yes, indeed. Let's go straight to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Mr. Lennox.
Good night, my friend.
Yeah.
Are you having a volume problem with me?
No.
Okay.
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I want to just talk on two issues, boy.
Go ahead.
You see, this woman that they call Miss Desiree Murray in the Senate,
Uh-huh.
I believe I calling on the president to revoke this lady appointment,
I hear you.
because why I'm saying that?
She is the only one who, of course, who rejected the recent bill that was supposed to be debated and passed unanimously, but without her. As far as the independent bench is concerned, is that the person you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
That
Go
was
ahead.
what I'm saying.
Just want to
Miss
make
Murray.
sure. I just want to put some context to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, because why I'm saying that, boy, she had never, since Parliament take over any side, had voted anything for the government, or always against, even when her colleagues voting with a person mustn't be like that, Mr. Smith. A person still has to have something in them, boy, because you trying to make laws and all kind of things, and why you have to be so biased? You have to get rid of that woman. I call on the president to move this woman, let somebody who could be a little more neutral, because remember, you is an independent bench, so why you getting on so? Do you understand?
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to talk about beside that is Imboot.
Go ahead.
Mr. Imboot today love poor people.
You know, you make my night, if not my day, because the first time
Yeah.
I laugh for the day, because I laugh because it's so true. But go ahead.
Yes, and here how I view Mr. Imboot, that we must never believe for once he didn't care for we, and we must never believe for once that he had raised gas, and we must never believe for one that he was bringing property tax on the resident. and not for commercial business. Listen how abusing Mr. Inboth. Mr. Inboth and Penny come like they was traveling to go to some place, and they meet a road junction, one road left and one road right side. But on the left side have a dead man, and on the right side have a man who is alive, and they want to get direction. So Inboth watch the fella on the left, and he tell Penny, nah, I can't ask you, boy, because he mightn't tell me nothing, because remember, he dead. Better ask the fella on the right, and he asked the man on the right, and he give him the direction where to go. And then Penny turn and telling he, Inboth, use a really a wise man, because if you really ask that man on the left side there, that man won't answer you at all. So it's a good thing you ask the man on the right side who is alive. You understand that? So Inboth is a wise man, not to ask a dead man for a direction, and he asks a living man. You understand what I'm trying to get at?
I hear you. I hear you.
These people have to be thinking that like we dead or some kind of thing, boy. Yeah, and we never know what's happening in this country, right? So Inboth paying this good man never even give pensioners not a cent increase in the 9.5 years ago, in 10 years, never. And all of a sudden he's studying old age pensioners who might be renting out another room and making an extra change, boy. Eh? What no? Okay, now, so what's wrong with the people who are asking the question? Who is these newsmen and them? What happened to them? Mr. Smith, I ain't gonna take too long, but what about Joshua, boy?
He's all right. He's a bit under the weather. We are seeing some signs, and we are observing to take him to to seek medical attention tomorrow.
Oh.
But he's all right. Yeah. He's all right.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes,
because I have to listen on the phone because I am watching it on YouTube right now, right?
All right, I see.
So I have to listen on the phone.
Yeah. He was with us tonight. All right, okay. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, of course, the whole idea, as I said last night, is that they have displayed consummate dunderheadedness, and of course, expressed and exhibited by persons who took liberty, especially when they were at the helm of the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago, to project that they are so bright and they're so smart and they're so educated that others are dunce and they can't check, etc. But the very man who talks about people can't check simple arithmetic is the man who couldn't find a missing $1 billion when he was Minister of Finance. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when we first set out to deceive. That is exactly what is happening. And of course, you point at others and 3 fingers point back at you. Test it and see right now. Automatically, you point with your index fingers, 3 fingers, your middle finger, your ring finger, and of course your little finger points back at you. So you point once and of course 3 point back at you. That is the level of dotishness that was parading as intelligence, intellect, and cerebral prowess. Cerebral prowess, people. But that being as it may, I want to pause at this point in time, of course, to acknowledge the fact that Andy, Mikey, and myself, of course, will be moving to 91.1 Talk City from the 5th of January. And, of course, I need to let you know that that is where the switch has to come. So I'm preparing you for that. And we'll be also on TV4. We will be, of course, consummating the idea and the action shortly. I'm not going to say when, except that on the 5th of January, we will be at TTT doing what we know to do, and of course doing it the best we can, and becoming the best of the lot. Let me just do something in there for you so you will get an appreciation. Oh, I don't know, wrong video. But of course, I have a couple of videos here that I want to share with you as far as the promotion of that initiative is concerned. I am not seeing it here. I'm not seeing it here tonight. Yes, okay, this is supposed to be it here. At least one of them. Yes, we here. Why is it not? Oh yes, here is it. Let me just use this one for example. Show this one for example. Of course, we will return to the map and all of the scenarios associated with, of course, that kidnapping episode. But it's important that we promote our own. Very important. So let me just get that organized for you at this time. See, right, good. Here is it. And here is it. Yes, indeed. So Andy, Mike, and myself, we will be, of course, on that at that media house from the 5th of January to do for you that which we know best, because we want to make sure that we are constant like the Northern Star and as immutable as a scent in terms of our consistency, in terms of our commitment, in terms of our dedication, and of course inside of that with a high degree of transparency, integrity, and accountability. Transparency, accountability, and integrity. Very important indeed. Let me just make sure that Mikey's picture is also well defined on the screen. Yes, let me just get that up. So you'll understand why, of course, I am doing what I'm doing. I have to multitask at the same time in order to, of course, bring the information that we would like you we would like to share with you, and we'd like you to be a repository of. Yes. So there we have it. Of course, Andy in the corner, left corner there, and then, of course, I in the middle, and Mikey at the left, or at the right, sorry, I should say, at my right at least. And make sure we have the entire picture so that you don't make a mistake as to who are the people that you must, of course, gravitate to when the information would have come to you. Yes, so I think we have it there. There's Mikey, of course, on the right, my right at least, and I'm in the middle and Andy on the left. So these are the guys who will be, of course, treating with you from the 5th of January, first Monday, I believe it is, in the year. And we take pride, we take pleasure, we are extremely anticipatory that we will do well, or we'll put another way, we'll continue to do well, better, because we'll have a greater reach. So we have both social media, and we have, of course, traditional media, and we have, of course, television as well. That, of course, is an element of traditional media, but I like to distinguish it because, of course, one is visual and the other one, of course, is audio. The radio is audio, Talk City, and the television, but all coming simultaneously in one, should I say, compilation, in one amalgamation, in order to deliver to you the information that we have grown, or you have grown to trust us with, and to deliver with integrity, with honesty, in other words, with, of course, sincerity, well researched, and therefore that's the place to gravitate to at the appropriate time. So there we are. And don't forget, of course, we will not and cannot forget the fact that each one of us have developed our own respective medias, whether it be Real Media in the case of Andy, whether it be The Observer in the case of Mikey, and whether it be, of course, as you are looking on at this point in time, the what? The corridor transformation, yes, indeed. There are those, of course, who are not pleased. The PNM will not be pleased, you know. They will not be pleased. And while they accused the last UNC administration under the very Kamala Prasad Bisesa, then Prime Minister, now Prime Minister, Honorable, they went ahead and put their trolls on that very station, you know. After Rowley was, of course, highly critical and said that, in essence, it was immoral. Imagine Satan trying to correct sin. Highly critical. Sorry, I don't have the clip because I don't have all of the facilities, but pretty soon I'll have everything on it because there's some programming changes that I want to make, including that of the academic sessions that I talked about, and it may well be 2 programs a day, one for academic purposes earlier, where we can help, of course, our young people with their home lessons, etc. Joshua will be a major part of it. I heard someone ask for Joshua tonight. So he'll be part of it. And indeed, we'll have, of course, the usual nightly. I have no competition in the night. So who knows? I may want to send you to bed a little earlier by, of course, maybe starting at 7 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. And we can finish about 8:30. We will make some changes. We have to. One thing is constant. Whether you are a scientist, or whether you are a doctor, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are a carpenter, whether you are a mason, one thing is constant. Change. Change is constant. For we live in an imperfect world. We are imperfect beings. But certainly, when we strive for perfection, we get blessings and, of course, grace that comes from above. Grace that comes from above, people. So I want to let you know that that is the next stage. Don't forget, of course, the other item that I would like to share with you is our hamper drive. We're going to have videos of the amount of material that we would have collected and garnered and boxed out and prepared for delivery next week. Next week we'll have that. And of course, those benefactors, those persons who have donated, whether financial or in kind, those who are prepared to be acknowledged, and let me say tonight in that vein, I want, of course, to recognize Ravi of Oilfield, Marabella. Ravi of Oilfield, Marabella. That's all I am prepared to say because that is what he has allowed me to say. And of course, I've always been keen to, of course, mention those who do well because to whom much is given, much is expected. But more than that, if it is that people would have given spontaneously and voluntarily to a cause, then they must be recognized. It is not quid pro quo. It is not that at all. It is one that is nestled in a fundamental principle of appreciation for, of course, a kind deed. And indeed, those who would have contributed would have been making kind deeds because it is not a financial or a commercial transaction. We pay nothing for it. But they provide a financial outlay in order to get it. It's obvious because they're producing flour, and they're producing rice, and they're producing cooking oil, etc. So they paid for it. And then, of course, they provided to us. And the best and the most we can do is to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is appreciated. I want to say those who have not yet communicated with us or are having challenges, the numbers are before us. Do a good cause for a child, for a family, for a person in what I consider to be abject poverty and a situation where they can't put food on the table. That's a tragedy. While you have, of course, those who would have raided the treasury and then pretended that nothing. And some people are coming to the George Street facility saying that Lennox Smith and them get hampers. I want to tell you that is over 1,000 persons we registered. But we cannot give 1,000 hampers because we simply do not have it and the logistics will not allow it. What I can tell you, because we have not been advertising, except of course to get people to contribute, whether you are individual or a commercial entity, a business. But what I can tell you, there's someone who is advertising. He has over 300 hampers. I'm talking about Scotland. Go to Scotland. I told someone today, go to Scotland, and if of course you come here and you get one as well, well, good for you. But go to Scotland. Why? Why? It's only ignoramus, and I'm being kind here. It's only in nincompoop. We say, well, Lennox, you're begging for hampers. Well, why you ain't give them? Without acknowledging not only the call by Scotland that he has hampers, over 300 of them to give away, but he is the elected representative. I am not. That is where the dichotomy exists. That is where we depart in terms of your understanding, your rationality, and your sense of right, wrong, and fairness. It cannot be fair that he is being paid to be your representative and you're putting the pressure on someone who equally had the opportunity, not directly, but certainly indirectly, by having a candidate to contest, of course, Laventille East, Laventille West, Port of Spain South, where Scotland is. And then you call on me to deliver whom you did not put into the parliament as you did for Scotland. It's unfair. What I expect, however, is that you would have recognized not just the folly of that scenario where Lennox Smith is called upon to provide hampers. He has, but the pressure is not placed on him. He has the money, the income of a parliamentary representative elected by you, and then call on me. No, it's unfair. Your conscience must be your guide. So if you come to Lennox Smith's facility on George Street, our empowerment center, and you didn't get a hamper, I would have expected that not only would you have migrated to where Scotland is, or any other parliamentary representative that are not in government, but we know that they were in government recently, and therefore they must have some kind of residual cash to assist their constituents. And if they start to tell you go by Lennox, then you know that they have abdicated their responsibility. But more than that, they are hoarding the cash, the money that they would have gotten, not just from their parliamentary salary, but from recently, just over 100 days ago, about 5 months ago, they demitted office on the 28th of April. They must have, they couldn't finish all of that. It's $3 billion in birth couldn't account for. It's over $100 million Balize house was being constructed. And of course, Malcolm Jones. And while Malcolm Jones might have been an iteration of a previous and before the Rowley 2015 diabolical PNM government, the fact is that that was $25 billion. But more than that, we had COVID, if you want to say that that is a thing of, that was a past. And therefore you couldn't blame Rowley and the associated PNM with that. Well, I want to say, what about COVID? Over $22 billion was expended and they cannot account for it. So please, I don't want for one moment to have to respond to the unfairness of individuals who would come here, ask for a hamper, I'm going to say pamper, but ask for a hamper, and they didn't get it, and make all kinds of insinuations and recriminations that has no place in the process if you would understand the circumstances and the magnanimity of the Empowerment Center right here on George Street that still made an effort to get hampers in spite of the fact that you did not vote for them. The point I'm making that if you had voted, man, it would have been hampers like water. That's what I'm talking about. But let's go to the line. The Professor, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yes, good night, sir.
Good night, my friend. Let me make sure I could hear you nicely because a long time I didn't hear from you. Yes, go ahead. I hear you loud and clear.
2025 was really bad for me. Up to this evening, I was in the health office. And Sandy Gandhi Hospital. So, I want to put a few handles to your name. If you will permit me. And
yes,
thanks,
go ahead, my friend. This is a democratic program.
And thanks for taking the call.
Yes.
So, if we could call Atifa doctor, I don't see why I can't call you doctor, professor, so Mr. Lennox.
I hear you.
I just...
And that thief, of course, is Rowley. Yes, let's not hold back anything. I think he deserves being known how people think about him. Go ahead.
I never call the doctor, to be honest. I never call the doctor.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you, my friend.
I don't get vexed when I hear people calling the doctor. He didn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't deserve that handle at all, man. He doesn't deserve that.
What happened?
Disappointing.
We have a little problem with the group. So that's why I didn't respond to you.
No problem.
I sent you a text message a few weeks ago.
Okay,
when I see you acting.
Annie might have gotten it and may have or may not have been respond.
When I see you asking, when I saw you asking for a little assistance now for the holidays.
Right. Yes.
What happened? What really happened? 20 of the guys have these cars. They never transfer the car.
No.
So they end up in problem now, and who they bought it from died, and it is a lot of commerce control good when there's a lot of commerce going on.
Yeah, and I think
So
the
we end
government
up
has taken a particular measure to sort of recognize those kinds of vehicles that you are associated with, you and
yeah,
your team.
yes.
When I heard that, I said, well done, and I'm sure that you are smiling, smiling, but then you have this challenge of not being able to transfer.
Yes, yes, that is another problem. So
Okay. Well, maybe
right now is
maybe
only
I can
right
talk
now
to
is
the
only 4 of us.
minister in
Uh,
charge of that. I think transport would have been Zaku, who of course I know well, but there are sometimes people uh, think differently when they are in office, and but I will still
yeah,
make an
yeah.
effort to see if I could make some kind of intervention. I know who you are, I know what you represent, I know how big your heart is, and of course, I since you visited medical facility, I want to say whatever you visited. Therefore, I trusted that things would have been, let's say, resolved.
Well, it will take some time
Take
to
some time.
resolve.
Okay, so you're optimistic. Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now it's only 4 of us
Uh-huh.
who there's only 4 of us end up in the group right now.
Wow, that is sounding good. Because I
So
used to admire those vehicles.
yeah.
The time when you drove me in it, I felt like a king, man. I felt in yours, I felt like a king. I mean, the thing driving smooth, every car on the road looking at us, and I felt like I was on top of the world, riding on 4 wheels. that
Well, not only you, anybody in the car. That is how they do feel it.
yeah.
Um, um,
Yeah, like me, you're on cloud 9. Yes.
but
Mhm.
we got well with the little group we have. We also have a Ford club. They invited us. So the president of the Ford Club, they're having on the 28th of this month, December,
Okay.
they're having a display of these cars in M6 Plaza in Chaguanas
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. So
from
you still have
12.
engagements to visit and so on. I know. What's the last one that we visited? Apart from, of course, having that function, I think was not too
Well,
far from what was
Kira,
Kidana driving, be not too far from there. I think there was another one
yeah,
that you invited me to. What was that? A UNC exercise. Yeah, go ahead.
was in Pierre Road. We had one in Pierre Road and we had one in Ramsaran Street.
Right. Yes. Yeah,
Right.
and that would have been the attraction, quite apart from the speakers on the podium or on the stage, and the entertainment that would have been offered to the massive crowd that attended UNC's, of course, rallies. You had, of course, these what I consider to be vintage cars, just there, and people just admiring, and
No, no, I was not in that. Where I was when Mr. Amar kept his family day.
right, yes, I remember that as well. Yes, that family day
Yeah,
exercise. Yes.
right. And the man, he never even come to tell us thanks.
He didn't, but
Yeah,
instead he went and advocate for the PNM at the worst possible time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
I believe that.
stymied and what I can say, amputated any opportunity that he would have gotten to achieve his ambition of being in the parliament.
Well, that
Sometimes that is how it is. You shoot yourself in the foot.
yeah, well, that is when somebody not too smart, they force smart.
Or is it that they believe that they're too smart? Because I know of people who doing wrong and believe that they're doing right, and going down dying, and eventually, of course, they end up where they ought to be, in a place that nobody not just respects them, but of course everyone indicating that they are deserving to be where they are. which of course is out of functioning and out of mind and out of sight, and really and truly the the climax, the climax of a stupid move. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at you on YouTube home right now.
All right, good. Well,
But
stay healthy,
he
my
made
friend. Yeah, go ahead.
he made certain statements about you guys, which if I tell you something, I stopped listening to 104.7.
Yeah, well, as we carried
Because
104 before
well,
104,
this is what all
before
you
we
make
went there,
104
104 was not a station that anybody would have looked
as
at.
popular
Yeah,
as popular as it is, right?
yeah.
Is you
Afterwards,
guys is you
once we
guys
were
who
there,
made 104 point is
people
you
were
guys who made
calling.
104.7 popular?
Yeah, people were calling us and saying, well, "Listen, people fighting upstairs and downstairs for they had two radio in a house, one upstairs, one downstairs, and the one downstairs I think went bad, and the fella from downstairs, a security guard, come in the morning time, and he wants to go upstairs to take the one upstairs, and it's big fight upstairs for that one radio because
Oh,
they are
sure.
accustomed with two. The ground report caused all of that, and
So what made me
it has
stop
now
listening to
gone.
the program?
Yeah.
He when he said you guys were ungrateful, that I if I could have cough hammer in the mouth through the way they do it.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did send him a pre-action protocol letter, but we said that listen, on the basis of old time and the fact that he could have acted differently in certain circumstance, and having regard, of course, to the fact that he backed us with pushback movement and writing letters and sending letters in order to, of course, let the population understand more and more and more deeply of the nefariousness of the PNM administration under Rowley and the Stuart Young, though short. We thought we should let that ride.
Yeah, well, that I believe that was good sense
Yeah.
in the end and up in the own process. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for taking my call, Mr.
Yes.
Lennox.
And I
Professor,
trust that everything goes well
Professor
with
and
you.
Doctor.
And have a wonderful Christmas.
I hope so too.
Yes.
I hope so too. I'll never call it Doctor, Professor. So,
I hear you. I will pay you a visit because that collection of vintage cars that you have, those miniature cars, I would love to see them again. Send a picture for me now, please, because I couldn't believe that there are people who collect these cars, and this man has a whole aquarium. Is a cabinet shaped like an aquarium, vertical, with different layers, and all of it are old-time cars, in other words, vintage cars. All right, my friend. So thanks, sir, for calling. Bye-bye.
okay then. Thanks again.
Yes, man.
Take care.
Yeah. The people, of course, we have come to the end of tonight's program. Don't forget, of course, that tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Mikey, and myself, I will, of course, attempt to give a little more meat to the incident of a kidnapping as far as the geography is concerned. But we have run out of time. Professor, good night. Let's take this final call. Professor, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yes, Lennox. A pleasant good night to you and everybody on the live.
Yes, man.
Lennox,
Hey.
I want to go back down into memory lane in 2019.
Uh-huh.
You remember coming up for the 2020 election?
Mm-hmm.
It had a youth man that sing a song and called the former Prime Minister Aripaman.
Yes.
And you remember after when he heard that song, you remember he did a press conference and say what it is he will do the individual if he apologize or not.
Yes, yes.
You have a copy of that press conference you already did it?
Yeah, I must have that somewhere in the archives.
When I get chance, I will like for you to send it from me, please.
No problem. And of course, Rowley went further. Rowley said, I think outside the voting booth that he voted on that occasion, it was a local government election scenario. He said that even if he apologized, he had to have court closed. He's still taking him to court because he wanted to put an end to that. Of course, he never advanced that to me, even though, of course, I did it to him. But, of course, as I've always said, we meet you in pass you. So I will, of course, find it and put it together for you. I have a drive that has simply broken down, and I have to find someone to, of course. And I'm making an appeal out there, people who recover material from drives, hard drive, external drives. I would love if you could communicate with me. I don't have money that I understand such service costs, but certainly I'm willing, of course, to have it done, and maybe we can work out an arrangement. So persons who know anyone that could recover hard drive material, I'm glad that the caller mentioned that, because a lot of material that would have been of a recent nature, I have, for the time being, don't have access to. And I really want to get access to it. So I'll still try, my friend, to see whether or not that escaped the problem that I would have had, that particular video. All right? And get it to you.
Yeah, because I want to open some people's eyes who eyes still closed and they're still sleeping. I want to waken them up spiritually and physically. So if you can get that for me, that would be very thankful. Because these people them have to see the evil Akitu Rowley and what is this man represent.
Yes.
Total evil.
I certainly will, my friend. All right. Thanks very much.
Look, I'm listening.
Well, no, I'm completely end. You are the final caller. Of course, it's after 9:30. And I said, even though I was late, I would end at 9:30. So I want to stay true to that commitment. So people, of course, don't forget tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Michael, and myself. And then, of course, tomorrow night, we continue, of course, with these and other topics. Don't forget, of course, we will be on 91.1 from the 5th of January, and of course on TV4. Look out for that as well. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful one.
When I woke this morning, I knew he was alive. 'Cause he saved me all my turmoil and strife. And I'm so glad that he took control of my life. Control of my life.
You're listening to Trinidad Parade Classics, mixed by A1 Unlimited. Let the Christmas vibes begin.
I wake up Christmas morning, I say I go in Parangin. From the time I leave my home, I decide I'm Parangin alone. I got to check out Susan first, to wish her a Merry Christmas. Before I go take a seat, she started buying me thing to eat. A roast pork, curry chicken, dal, crab and dumpling, pie, pastel. Eat something before you go. Yeah, yeah. Eat something before you go. Eat something before you go. Eat something before you go. Oh, guys. Capitán. Baila, mi amigo. Hey. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Sorry about that, but I can't have a celebrity like this on set. Come, sit down here. Yes, indeed. I can't have a celebrity like this on set and not, of course, bring him in. Come closer to me. So, very good. He's going to introduce himself, of course, but of course he's one of the organizers of that tournament, what is called the DNA tournament, David Nakid Academy initiative, of course, on the East-West Corridor, and we have no choice because we are an East-West Corridor entity, and therefore, of course, we have a team that we have put into the competition. Well, of course, he has come to collect the entrance fee, the registration fee.
Most important.
Most important, yes, indeed. Let me get a mic here, man. Yes, indeed. Most important. You can go closer to the mic so you'll make sure you get the thing. Yes. So introduce yourself, of course, and let us, on set, I will be giving him the money. Let me give him back the receipt. So, and let me make sure it's money, right? 2,500 people, right? Yes. So it's inside there. I ain't checking it because I know it's there. And of course, my friend, thank you very much. Give me my receipt. All right. So we have done that on air.
Nice doing business with you, Mr. Lennox Smith.
Beautiful man. And of course, introduce yourself and say what role you are playing in that competition. We are very excited, and of course, our team is almost ready because we still have to look at uniform and other factors.
Okay,
but
no problem, no problem. Yeah. Well, I'm Travis Mullerin, tournament organizer, East-West Corridor Football League.
Beautiful man. And how is it going so far in your view? But people, I promised that I'll finish at 9:30, but I can't. This is a celebrity. This is an important figure, in, of course, in the East-West Corridor agenda that we have. Come on a little more. We want to make sure that you are entirely in the picture, right? Good, right, beautiful.
Me well.
Right, good. Yeah. So tell me, how has it developed? I know that the launch took place last Saturday.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. And tell me how you're feeling. The teams are ready. They are pumped up. They are excited. And of course, competition will actually start when?
Competition actually starts this weekend across the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. Okay.
We have a group in Tobago as well. So we are very excited. Very, very, very excited to really kickstart this new initiative. Hopefully we can unearth some new talent, take them to Europe, and hopefully we have some more foreign-based players so that they can help Trinidad and Tobago's national senior team.
Beautiful. And tell me, what is the outcome? What is the objective of this initiative? Because, I mean, it is excited. The young men and women are excited, of course, and the spectators as well. Those of us, including myself, who will be, of course, prospective, prospective, of course, spectators. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Well, exactly what I just described. Most minor leagues, you have a cash prize at the end of it. They collect money, they share it up, and it's back to normal life.
Mm-hmm.
We want to present an opportunity by picking an all-star team and taking them all the way to Spain, which is arguably the best footballing nation at the moment, and expose them to some top talent around their age group, and hopefully 2, 3, 4 players would be contracted with their academies, and that will be 4 less players in Trinidad and Tobago. This could be a life-changing experience for them where they can really go up the socio-economic ladder and, of course, help our national team in future.
Of course, one of the things that we do here on the corridor transformation, so notice it is well in sync with with your concept, not just by name, but certainly by action. That's why we are here tonight. But of course, the whole question of borderlines and the whole question, of course, of youth gravitating to a life of crime, how impacting that is. Not I'm asking a rhetorical question because I want to say that I know the answer, but I want to get it from the guests. All right? So go ahead, my friend.
Well, as I said, just the participation in sport, that is one thing, but there must be something tangible, because at the end of the day, people have to eat, clothe themselves, and stuff like that. So we want to provide opportunities for youth to make a living out of the game. And if not, the values that we pass on, hard work, resilience, determination, fair play, it can augur well in any walk of life.
Yes, indeed, of course. Give your name again, of course, and the role that you're playing in this very exciting and, of course, expecting keen competition. I want to say that we expect to win the competition.
Okay, once again, Travis Mullerin, tournament organizer, East West Corridor Football League.
Yes, indeed. Of course, the people, well, thank you very much for being such a good audience. And the same after we would have normally closed to, of course, interview our important guest as he has mentioned. Tomorrow, of course, we will talk a little more about the tournament and the preparation of our team. And, of course, we will look at some of the other teams as well, because this is East-West Corridor, and we don't want to be too biased, even though, of course, we have a team in the competition. All right, people, so once again, let's get back to the music. And thanks very much. Stay right there, because I'm going to cut off with you on set. So let's just play the music, and then, of course, we will make our departure.
You're listening to Trinidad Parade Classics, mixed by A1 Unlimited. Let the Christmas vibes begin.